Hi guys, welcome back to another video on the NZDayTrading101 channel. I'm Shami, and today I'm just going to talk to you about how the market's looking at the moment and how we should be trading in times like these. So basically, the market at the moment, as you can see on the screen, we're stuck in a bit of a consolidation mode. So obviously we had that sort of uptrend going on. Cool, and now what's happened is we're just coming to a bit of a consolidation where like the market's just kind of trending sideways. And when the market's in the consolidation, it's a bit harder to trade. So during this times, like if you find good stocks to trade, then it's good to really just probably half your position size. You don't want to use like too much capital on trading because you can take some huge losses during these times. So because during the consolidation period where like the market's in sort of a sideways sort of movement, you don't really know if like institutions buying positions or they're selling their positions. So because at the end of the day, you tend to see these like large block trades, and they could be anything. They could be so institutions could be downsizing their positions, institutions could be increasing their positions. So so what's happening here? So this is the index I kind of use to analyze the market and see how it's doing. So it's the NZ50. I don't use the other one, which is this one here, the $1.41. So I don't really use that. I don't do like it's kind of like an accurate indication. I always kind of use on TradingView you can use the NZ50 index, which is the TVC one. And on there it kind of gives you a better sort of visual of how the market's performing. So you always see from here that it's had a long-term trend upwards. And now, and this white line here, this is my 200-day moving average, so I kind of know that's my long-term trend. And when the long-term trend is kind of curling upwards, then you notice the market is in an uptrend. But now what's happened is the long-term trend is kind of flattened out. So, and when the long-term moving average flattens out, it just means that the market is stuck in sort of consolidation. So it's not curling down at all, but it's just in that sort of phase where not sure where the market's going to go up and not sure where the market's going to go down. So I'll just clear the drawings here. So we had this sort of upwards phase here. So let's get my drawing tool out. So so we had a sort of a high, then a higher low, high, but then we didn't have a lower low. So we wanted to obviously continue up like this. So this is when you know that the market's kind of uptrending. So when a market forms like a high, then a higher low, a higher low, higher low, high, you know that the market's sort of in an uptrend. But vice versa, what's happening here is when the market's kind of doing that. So you had your higher low, high, but then you had your lower low and your higher low. So what this means is that the market's kind of shifting downwards. You never know where it could go. So this is sort of how to analyze the trend of the overall market, which is very important because when you're doing trades in like a different sort of stocks, you've got to also look at like what the market's doing as well. Because if the market is trending higher, then most likely that a lot of other stocks are going to trend higher with it. There's a lot of buying going on, and vice versa. When the market's sort of downtrending, then you know that company stocks are probably not likely to go up. And if they do go up, or if they do tend to break out, then they're not going to hold those gains. So as you saw back in this period here, and this was sort of an upwards momentum sort of period. So you knew all your your Kathmandu's and all that. Like all your stocks are kind of breaking out. They'll continue to break out. They'll continue to run for a few days as well. And then, but again, like you saw this huge bump here, then kind of topped out here, formed lower low, and So right now we're just stuck in this. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Whoops, move tool out. These drawings there. Cool. So here we go. So as you can see here, this is the NZD. So this is a daily chart. So each one of these candles represent 1 day. So as I told in my previous video, a candlestick is basically if it's green, it's open lower, but it's closed higher. If it's red, it's open higher, but closed lower. Never has these wicks. It's just the high and the lows of the day. So right now we can see that it's not forming a sort of a lower low or a higher high. So see how we got these sort of pivot points. So you guys have probably heard of pivot points. So these are kind of these things here. These are kind of sort of good visual pivot points. And the pivot points sort of they sort of tell you like what a high is and what a higher low is. So right now here we haven't got any pivot point sort of going on because like the price is pretty much too close together. It hasn't fluctuated or bounced off any point as such. So what we're waiting on is we're just waiting on the price to kind of either go down, form a pivot point here, and then go up again. So that means you would have formed a higher low, meaning that this is the low here, and this low is higher than this low, meaning that it could go up again. So, but vice versa, what could happen is it could just so we need like a clear indication. This is pretty clear pivot point. This is a clear pivot point. This is a clear pivot point. Clear, clear, clear. So, yeah. So right now what's happening is just in the sideways sort of trend. So we're just waiting for it to pivot at some point. And a pivot point is basically it's like a level of rejection or a level of buying. So right now, yeah, we just have to wait for a sort of a sharp move upwards. And if it bounces back off that, then we'll just have to wait. So like I said, we just want a series of higher highs. Whoops. So I'll just sort of. So the market trend you want is kind of like a trend like this. We can kind of mark it, there you go. So what happens is this is your higher, yeah, so we start from here. This is your higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And when you see these higher highs and higher lows, it just means that the market's in an upward trend. This is how I personally look at how trends are doing in the NZ market. And also, like, when the market's in an uptrend like this, then you know that your flat top breakouts, your bull flags, and all that are going to work out. So, yeah. Cool. So we had a few stocks breaking out today, but they're not probably the stocks I would personally trade. So we had Fisher and Paykel that came out with some news today. So NZX. So if you look on here, look at your announcements, and here we go. So these P1, so presentation slides, already looked at their stock. RAK. Cool. 5,700. So it's like a cent stock, so I don't really trade anything below 50 cents just because it's very volatile and you can make some huge losses, and at the end of the day, if you size up too large, it'll be hard to get rid of your position. So and also the volume as well, it's only 19,000, so it's not my jam. Here we go. So we had, so here we go. You had like 1, 2 sort of price now. So you know something's going on with this Raycon Limited stock. So that's when you see like if you see a price sensitive announcement on the NZX, then just check out the stock on the market depth, and just have a look at like has it got some good liquidity? Is it trending higher? Or yeah. Alrighty. So then we got Abano as well. Continuing interest in Abano. So you already know that Abano is probably likely to go up because it's got continuing interest in Abano. Just the title of it. You don't even need to go into the announcement. You can just look at it. Oh, sure, okay. There's interest in Abano. It's a price sensitive announcement. So traders are gonna all flock into it, and people are gonna start buying up. So and you can see what's happening in Abano as well, like ABH. There you go. So you have this massive upwards increase. There you go, and still likely to continue higher. Oops. So I personally won't trade the stock just because it's not my it's not my jam, because it's a bit slim. Well, it's not too bad. Now the spread's starting to come together. So before we were showing a spread of like $2.90 and like $3. So when a stock has like a 10-cent spread, for me that's a bit too much. It is traveling in the upwards direction, and it is up 20% already. It's got good volume behind it, so it could likely to continue higher. So you can see 306 will go straight to 310, So 306 straight to 310, straight to 314. So, I mean, this could be a good swing trade for people that want to, swing it. What they'll do is probably, but it's important that in times like these you do manage your risk as well, because you never know when a stock can start to go down. So, I mean, the best way to manage your risk for stocks is basically, if a stock finishes higher on the day, then put your stop at the bottom of the low of the day. And then if a stock finishes higher today, then put your stop there. Stock finishes higher today, then put your stop here. Stock finishes higher today, put your stop here. Stock finished higher today, put your stop here. Stock didn't finish higher today, then you'll probably get out here. So probably would have made about 30%. But yeah, you can do the same thing with this as well. But it's quite a large sort of how many cents is that? So if you put your stop at the low of the day, that's a 38-cent. So it's looking like a yeah. So let's say you bought it about 303. So obviously looking at risk reward as well. You'll need a minimum of 1 risk to 2 reward. So 1 to 2 risk reward you'll probably need. So if you look here, if you guys want to buy a Bano here and you feel like it's likely to go up, and you're willing to hold a swing trade for up to a week, 2 weeks, or whatever the time it will be until it kind of reaches either your stop loss or your stop loss or your target price, then yeah. So let's see. So right now it's only a risk reward of 1.13. So we need to make sure we get a minimum of 2 to 1. So there you go. Minimum, the price probably needs to go back up to about 385. So this is good for you small account traders. Like if you got a whole bump in the price now, you've got a position where you can put your stop. So your entry position where you put your stop loss, and then you got your target price as well. So anything better than that, you'll sell here. So there's no point in trading something where you're risking 1 to make 1, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get anywhere. So, and it depends on your own personal strategy as well. Like if your strategy is trading holding stocks that are going up on the first day, and you feel like they're likely to continue to run, then yeah, then continue to do that. But you just got to figure out what works for you. Also, like just write down your results as well. Like have a look at some of the trades you made and have a look at what your mistakes would have been. Just do a Google search. Like there's lots of trading tips out there in the world. So I solely focus on the NZ market. So I trade very less, but I trade more quality, and that's how you should be. You shouldn't be over trading at all, and shouldn't be getting emotional about trades as well. Like everyone has to take losses and stuff. Sometimes you have to just close your eyes and just click that sell button. You know what I mean? So it's hard, but like sometimes you just got to start fresh, and you got to take losses as a learning lesson as well. So yeah, cool. So that's my little video for today. So hope you liked the video, and please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. Love the comments. It gives me motivation to keep making videos like this. I know a lot of other people on YouTube. They're always talking about like personal investing for long term and stuff like that. So which is all good. Nothing wrong with that. But personally, for me, I like to make short-term profits. I like to trade the charts. I like to trade liquid stocks. And yeah. But sometimes you cannot always trade stocks, and you'll have like 1 or 2 weeks where you cannot find any trades at all. But trust me, there are trades out there, and the whole thing is to be very patient about it. Like the more patient you are, the more quality setups you'll be able to find, and then you can just trade it like that. So yeah. All right, guys. Thanks. And if you guys want to subscribe to my Instagram channel, then yeah, the Instagram name's below at NZDayTrader. You can see some of my day trading profits there. And yeah, I'll catch you for the next video. Peace.